So, as Norman said, I joined the HSE in November of 2014. First time the HSE has ever had anybody responsible for technology in health in Ireland. It's quite a big sort of thing to decide to do as an organisation. The slides that I was going to go through would have told you a story of not investing in healthcare technology, not particularly investing as well as others in healthcare generally. But a decision has been made to change that, to do something different. There isn't tons of cash suddenly coming at healthcare technology, but there is a different way of using technology to deliver more for what we're trying to do. I've been working in healthcare technology for 20 years. Every time somebody like Tracy stands up at a presentation, you remember that we're not here for technology. We're not actually here for clinicians. Don't throw anything, clinicians, in the room. We're here for patients. One of the most amazing experiences for me was implementing something called the Summary Care Record in the UK. At first, an extremely controversial thing. You wouldn't have thought so. You were now going to give meds, allergies, and adverse reactions from the GP system into A&E. The first trust in the UK was in Bolton, and they were going to put in the Summary Care Record. But the GPs in the room had decided to vote that they wouldn't give their information to the A&E. A lady with COPD picked up her oxygen tank, knocked 2 GPs over, stood on the stage and said, "Beep, beep, beep, you lot. That's my information. Vote again. Next time I'm in A&E, I want the clinician to have my information." It was a phenomenal change. The whole of Bolton changed its mind. It was the first site in the country, nearly 10 years ago, to make all meds, allergies and adverse reactions of patients available in A&E when a patient walked in. I was lucky enough to be in the UK to see some of that in action last weekend. Now 95% of patients in the UK have that information available in A&E, probably down to that one patient knocking 2 GPs out and swearing. If truth be known, I couldn't have made the GPs change their mind, and it was my job to do that. So one of the things that you hear a lot about, particularly in Dublin, particularly in Ireland, is all these amazing organisations, the Googles, the Microsofts, the IBMs of this world, who can do cool stuff with data. I've been here just over 12 months, and my door's a bit like a swing door of them coming to try and tell me why the HSE should spend its oodles of cash that it now doesn't have with those organisations to actually do something different with healthcare technology. And I love telling them this one story. Healthcare invented using information to improve circumstances. The first time that we see data used in history to improve healthcare outcomes is Dr. Jon Snow. Not Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, although he might have looked a bit like him, I think, from some of the pictures. But Dr. Jon Snow felt that cholera was killing people in London in the 1800s. The government at the time thought it was actually boats that were people coming into the port that were passing cholera on. Dr. Jon Snow used data to map where people were dying, proved to the government after a number of attempts that it was around a single water pump, got permission to take the handle off the water pump, which is now in the pub in Soho called Dr. Jon Snow, which is quite cool to go and see, and actually changed the way people use data. Google, Microsoft, the like, hate me reminding them that they actually have lots of money because we invented it. 2015 for us was a huge year. We put a lot of things in place. We tried really hard and continue to try really hard not to take our programs, our ideas, go away and come back in 12 months, 18 months, 2 years with information about what we're going to do next. But actually every time, every year, every month, deliver something different. One of the building blocks for what we've heard about today was the individual health identifier. Relatively controversial, but actually without being able to uniquely identify every person in Ireland doing the kind of stuff that you've spoken about today, it becomes more difficult, if not verging on impossible. In the second week in September, we gave everybody in Ireland an individual health identifier. We did it in a way that allows it not to impact on you, the patient, in a way that is safe and secure, and a way that over time it can start to appear in systems. But one of the first systems that it will appear in is the Epilepsy Electronic Health Record. That was how my relationship with Epilepsy Ireland, the epilepsy team, started. was me saying, please can we put this number into your system so in the future we can do more with a system that is phenomenal. A system that other countries don't have. You don't say that often in my job in Ireland, I have to say. So it's kind of cool to have that one to flag up quite regularly. So we have this vision where we'll have an electronic health record for the whole of Ireland. It starts with the National Children's Hospital. The minister's coined this phrase that is verging on cringeworthy already, which is the National Children's Hospital will be born digital. It's a children's hospital, you get the... No laughs, that tells you how cringy it's getting. But what it does mean is that we now move from where we are now to 2019 to deliver an electronic health record. But I can't wait till 2019 to start doing major pieces of work of what we're trying to do. So I've agreed with Norman, with Mary, with JP, with a number of people in the room, that epilepsy will become one of 3 Lighthouse projects. We secured €3 million additional money in our budget this year for technology. A budget, the budget of the HSE is well documented. €13 billion keep the people of Ireland healthy. 157 million, not billion, keep Ireland healthy using technology. That's everybody's kit, that's everybody's phone, that's new things to do the kind of stuff that Tracy's just spoken so amazingly about. One of the great things around making epilepsy a Lighthouse project is we can shine a light on the things that it can do. We can make it able to have everybody's electronic health record. We can put the patient apps out there and connect it to the electronic health record. We can allow patients to communicate securely with clinicians. And most exciting, following Tracy onto stage, is we can put the infrastructure in place to sequence the genome, admittedly in 16, a small number, but a small number of patients, where that information can now start to go into the electronic health record. You can actually start to use the electronic health record to have that information, to link it back to outcomes for the patient, to start to do some of the amazing stuff that we've heard about already. For me, that's a big part of where we're going. That's us enabling ourselves to learn around electronic health record, but also allowing us to understand how we do things different. The other 2 areas are haemophilia and bipolar disorder. 2 massively different areas, but on purpose, so we can learn different lessons about how we do that. Innovation in technology tends to happen quite horizontally, just continues to go on. In 1800, I had to write some of these facts down because they were on the slides, but I couldn't actually remember them all. So in 1800, it used to take 6 hours to earn enough money to light a candle for 1 hour at night. You do your studying at night. You learn how to become and do the kind of amazing things that Tracy's done with that 6 hours of hard graft to get the 1 hour of doing it. In the 1940s, it was taking about 40 minutes worth of work to get 1 hour of electricity to learn at night. Last year, half a second. It's a hell of a long time to innovate, though, from the candle to the light. The proposal we're putting is that we change how we innovate, that we don't do it in that same way. We move to a vertical innovation where we genuinely can leapfrog other countries. We can learn from other countries and apply that to what we do. It's hard to write a business case to a minister to invest huge amounts more money in technology and use the word magic. But we are kind of asking the government of Ireland to invest in magic around e-health, because we can see that it can make a big difference. And that's become more and more apparent to us. So as we're running over, I'll leave it at that and let you get on to the next part. Thank you very much.